I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the most perfect base, the most flawless, blurring, face lifting snatch effect makeup routine ever. Hey you guys, and welcome to my little channel. This is basically an updated makeup routine, but when it comes to my makeup routine, my goal is always to have just like that snatched effect. And I feel like over the years my makeup routine has gone like changing, and I've learned different tips and tricks, and I want to show you guys where I'm at right now and what's really helped me, even when it comes to enhancing my eyes and making them look just like a little bit more light and like pretty. Okay guys, so first things first, I am on a time crunch in this video, but it's okay because you know what, that's even better, so that way you guys can learn how to do this makeup look. See, first things first, of course, we're gonna do my eyebrows first. I'm also gonna be telling you guys which products I use for everything. So first thing is first, I use Anastasia Dip Brow for my eyebrows, and I also use an eyebrow gel. I use the e.l.f. eyebrow gel. I like to have kind of like a natural, sleek little look when it comes to my eyebrows. I like to start off on the end of the eyebrows, and then I go into the middle just lightly, but I mainly darken the edges. And then as I go closer to the front of my brow, I go a little bit lighter, and then I just brush it out. Okay guys, so before I move any forward with my eyebrows, the most important part of this look, and just makeup in general, if you really want like that flawless blurring effect when it comes to a makeup look, make sure you do skincare first. So I just washed my face, and now I'm gonna put on a moisturizer and a toner. I feel like the key to this is really, all you really need is a moisturizer. I feel like you need a moisturizer just to really have a good canvas for when you put on your base. Honestly, the key to a really good base is just like a good skincare routine, or at least a good moisturizer. I'm gonna put on some toner first. Just gonna put some on my hand. I'm just using like this milky toner. I'm gonna put some moisturizer on. I feel like this moisturizer in particular is a really concentrated moisturizer, so I feel like this works really good. This works really good like as a primer. I honestly prefer using a moisturizer instead of a primer, just because I feel like that's what works for me. I kind of just have like that glowy look going on. So now this is a perfect canvas for my base, but before my base, I'm gonna put on eyebrow gel. I'm just gonna brush them up and then brush them to the side, just like that. So they look a little darker than my natural brows, but they're still a little like natural looking, you know? Okay, and I am gonna conceal them after I put on my base. Okay, so for my base, I use the Haus Labs foundation, and I mix it with this L'Oreal Lumi Lotion thing. So I like to put on the Lumi Lotion first, just like that. And then I just put like one pump of the foundation. Mix that together, and I feel like it just makes a perfect shade for me. The Lumi Lotion gives me a little bit more of a bronze look, which is what I like. Okay, so now I just put that all over. I like to put it all over, and it looks funny, but I like to put it over like around my nose because that's kind of where I have like red spots. And then I just like connect it with everything else. It looks funny, but it works. And then also too, I kind of like to have my foundation act like a concealer before actually putting concealer over the brows. It's kind of like a pre-concealer. And I kind of just, where I put the foundation as like a concealer effect, I kind of just like dab it in. Okay you guys, so for my concealer placement, I feel like this part is the key because this is what really gives like that snatched illusion. So first things first, I start in the corner, kind of just spread it out like that, but instead of just like fully putting concealer just like all under like that, I leave a little gap, and then I kind of pull up with the concealer like that. And then I put some in the inner corner of my lid and a little on top. I like to use a little fan in between because instead of like blending it right away, this gives it like the tiniest like bit of like a thicker consistency, if you will. And I feel like it sticks more that way, and I just feel like it comes out better. This part is really important because I use a brush before a beauty blender, because a beauty blender, obviously, it takes up a lot of the pigment, and so that way it doesn't soak up a lot of pigment, I blend in first with a brush. So just go lightly under and then I connect it. I can bring it down to this area, just connect all of it. Then I blend the harsh lines. See, with the only harsh line that I leave is the line up here, and we blend that out later and you'll see. You already see how like the baking really gives that blurring effect. And I go a little bit lower when I bake. So, you know, like I bake under the eye, obviously like where the concealer is, so it doesn't move. But then I just bring it down a little bit here. And I also put setting powder on the lid where the rest of the concealer is. So with this one, same thing. First I use the brush and then I use the Beauty Blender for the harsh lines. So the Beauty Blender is honestly more just for the harsh lines. Now I just like wipe off the setting powder. With this same brush, I kind of just go all around my face, just like this. Especially like the areas where I crease, like my smile lines, and just any like really dewy areas, like my forehead and stuff. Sometimes I like to put just a little bit extra setting powder on my smile lines because, you know, very much needed. And then you guys remember these lines. You see how it like really lifts the face up, but obviously we don't want to make it like that, those lines super obvious. So just with my hand, I kind of just like blend it in so it just really fades in there. Very fading into you vibe. So it's like just still like lifting my face, but it's not like, oh my gosh, girl, that little curl. Like, calm down. Anyways, see how like it still kind of gives like that lifting face effect, but the line isn't like harsh, you know? Okay guys, so now I'm gonna move on to the contour slash bronzer. I usually like to do 2 lines. One is a little bit thinner, like I go on the side, and the other like I go straight like down, like I go like flat like that. And with this contour slash bronzer, I bring it up on my forehead like that, but also in this little area I kind of like to bring it in just like that. And then kind of like where you would put blush, I would put the bronzer there as well, so it just really highlights just like that whole area, you know? You kind of already see how it's like shaping the face, but just like everything before, I don't want it to look too harsh. I don't want anything on my face to look too harsh, so we're just gonna like blend it all in. We're gonna go just like with each step, you just want to like I use the Beauty Blender between like every step, so that way it just goes kind of like everything just kind of like melts together, you know? Because the whole point of this makeup look is to look, yes, it's to have like that flawless filter yet snatched but effortless look, you know? Okay, I'm gonna be using the Makeup by Mario blush. And this one, I'm gonna bring it up just kind of how I would like the contour placement, except it's a little higher than the contour placement, but everything is kind of like in an upward motion. You guys, this is like my new favorite like shade of blush, because I have red blush and then I have like a baby doll bubblegum pink blush, and I live for those, but sometimes I just want something a little bit more cool tone, you know? Kind of like I feel like this is in the middle between both of those blushes, so I'm getting like the best of both worlds. Of course, Beauty Blender. You guys, I do need a fill on my lashes, and I'm like so tempted to put on mascara, because usually I would put on mascara or false lashes. I'll show you guys the mascara that I usually use, which is the it's the Essence Lash Princess mascara. I'm like really tempted to put some on, but I've never put some on like while having still some extensions on, so I don't know, I might just leave that alone. I've been using this NYX Jumbo Multi-Use Face Stick Highlighter. This is a little bit of like the cherry on top of the look, because I feel like it really brightens up the face. So first I want to start off by like lightly putting it just like where you would put your highlighter placement. And then I like blend that in as well, because I like a glittery sheer moment, you know? And then I put a little bit on my nose, just like that, and then I blend it in. this really helps bring out your eyes. Okay, so I put it in the inner corner like that, right? But it doesn't stop there. I like bring it up to right there, like kind of like the middle, but I blend that part in so that way it doesn't look too harsh, the top. But you see how kind of just like that, it just looks so angelic and glowy, and it just like makes the eye pop in such an effortless way. Okay guys, so this is the final step of my makeup look, which it's pretty simple. We're gonna start off by outlining our lips with the brown lip liner. I kind of just blend it in just a little bit with my finger as well, just to make it look a little more effortless. And then I go in with more of like a nude lipstick. Then I kind of outline it again. Then I put on some gloss. And that's pretty much it for this makeup look. Oh, actually no. You guys, when it comes out looking a little bit too like darker, I kind of like a little bit of a lighter. I kiss it a few times. By the way, this is in my contact box. But I like a little bit more of like a lighter look like that. And then I put on gloss again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because if you do, I will keep you in my corazoncito forever. And also next week I have so many more exciting videos coming out. I know I was kind of dipping into the femme fatale aesthetic, so I have more videos like that coming your guys' way. So if you like that, stay tuned. And hi you guys, bye, kisses.